Okay, so you want to own a storage unit facility. No tenants complaining about a leaky faucet at 2 a.m. No inventory to manage. No staff to hire. Mostly, half these places run with one person a few hours a week. Just rows of steel boxes and people paying you every month to keep stuff they don't look at. It sounds like the laziest, most passive business in real estate. Here's the part that breaks people's brains. The box isn't the business. The box is almost free. What you're actually buying into is a pricing algorithm that quietly overcharges the people who trust you most, and a piece of dirt protected by paperwork most people never think to check. Let's start with the fantasy, because the fantasy is what sells this business to beginners. A single-story steel storage building costs somewhere between $25 and $65 per square foot to construct, cheap by commercial real estate standards. A hotel runs you hundreds of dollars a square foot. A shopping mall, even more. A storage facility is a concrete slab, some steel walls, roll-up doors, and a keypad. No plumbing in most units. No HVAC unless you're paying extra for climate control. Low maintenance capital, low overhead, and self-storage REITs openly say this is exactly why their margins run higher than almost anything else in real estate. Public Storage, the largest operator in the industry, posted a 78.4% same-store net operating income margin in its most recent full year. 78 cents of every rental dollar drops straight to operating profit. Compare that to a hotel where payroll, food, and constant capital repairs eat most of what comes in the door. So if the box is cheap to build and the margins are this high, why doesn't everyone own one? Because building it was never the hard part. Getting permission to build it is. Most municipalities zone self-storage as a fairly undesirable land use. It doesn't bring foot traffic, doesn't create many jobs, doesn't look good next to housing. Which means the sites that do get approved for storage are protected, almost by accident, from a flood of new competitors. Land acquisition alone can run anywhere from a few dollars a square foot in a rural stretch to $50 or more in a dense suburb. Add site prep, permitting, and the actual structure, and a modest facility can land anywhere from $400,000 to well over $1 million before you've rented a single unit. That zoning fight is the real barrier to entry. Not the steel, not the concrete, the paperwork. Anyway, say you clear that hurdle. You've built the box, you've got your permits, you're renting units. This is where most people think the business starts, and where it actually gets interesting. Walk past any storage facility sign and you'll see a number. Units from $59 a month. That number is not what most of the people already renting there are paying. It's bait. The industry has a name for what happens next. The existing customer rate increase, or ECRI. Here's how it works. You get a rock bottom rate to move in, sometimes priced below what the unit even costs to operate. You move your boxes in, and moving out is a hassle nobody wants to deal with for a $10 or $20 difference, so you don't. Then the increases start. Historically, storage operators raised existing tenants' rent by 8% to 12% a year, mostly just to track inflation. That changed. Today, ECRIs routinely exceed 15% annually, and increases of 200% to 300% over a tenant stay are not considered unusual by operators themselves. One facility owner put it plainly, massive increases are easier for large companies to pull off because they've got enough volume of customers to absorb the ones who leave. And the numbers back up why they keep doing it. Between 2022 and 2024, the average move in rate across the industry dropped 33%, while the rate paid by tenants already living there climbed 6%, entirely through these increases. The gap between what a new customer pays and what an existing customer pays hit 43% at its widest point, the largest spread ever recorded against a historical average closer to 10%. And fewer than 5% of tenants move out within 30 days of getting hit with an increase. The algorithm isn't guessing. It's already run the math on exactly how much you'll tolerate before you finally rent a truck. The sign out front isn't the price. The sign out front is the hook. The real price is whatever the algorithm decides you're too lazy to walk away from. So, If you're the kind of person who wants to actually understand how businesses like this really make their money, instead of just watching the highlight reel, hit subscribe. This channel breaks down exactly this, one industry at a time. Now here's the part almost nobody outside the industry knows exists at all. The rent isn't even the whole business anymore. Every time you sign up for a storage unit, you'll usually be offered, sometimes required, tenant insurance. A few dollars a month to cover your stuff in case of fire, theft, water damage. It feels like an afterthought. It is not an afterthought. Public Storage runs its own reinsurance subsidiary, meaning the company that insures your belongings and the company renting you the unit are, functionally, the same company keeping the money. In its most recent year, that single reinsurance business generated $192 million in net operating income, up 82% since 2019. Across the industry, ancillary revenue like insurance, lock sales, and boxes typically makes up 12% to 18% of total revenue, and the top operators push that closer to 17%. It's revenue that costs almost nothing to deliver, layered quietly on top of a business that was already earning 78-cent margins. Public Storage covers roughly 1.5 million active insurance certificates, representing $7.2 billion in coverage, capped, notably, at just $5,000 per unit no matter what you actually lose. That's not a rounding error in their business model. That's a second business hiding inside the first, wearing a customer protection costume. Here's the whole storage industry in one sentence. Build the cheapest box real estate allows. Protect it with zoning nobody else can clear, lure tenants in below cost, and then extract the real profit slowly enough that leaving never feels worth it. Which brings us to why this industry doesn't stay fragmented for long. Owning one facility is a decent local business. Owning 3,000 of them is a different machine entirely. Public Storage alone holds interest in 3,171 self-storage facilities, 229 million square feet of space, and manages hundreds more for third parties it doesn't even own, collecting fees either way. Scale is what turns a landlord into a pricing engine. The more facilities a company runs, the more data it has on when a renter in a specific zip code will tolerate a rate hike, and the less it needs to compete on the sticker price at all. Implied cap rates for the biggest operators, Public Storage in the mid-5% range, CubeSmart closer to mid-6%, are tight enough that acquiring existing facilities from smaller, independent owners is often more attractive than building new ones from scratch. The industry doesn't grow by adding boxes. It grows by buying out the people who built the boxes first. So the mom-and-pop storage lot on the edge of town isn't just competing against another storage lot. It's competing against a company that can lose money on that lot's exact street rate for years, because the real profit sits somewhere the customer never sees, in the insurance line, in the third-party management fee, in the algorithm quietly repricing everyone who already trusts them enough to stop checking. The romantic version of this business is a guy with a clipboard, unlocking a gate, collecting a check. The real version is a spreadsheet, running constantly, deciding exactly how much loyalty is worth extracting before it breaks. That's the storage industry. A business that looks like it sells space and actually sells inertia. Speaking of businesses that look simple on the surface, there's another one that runs on almost the exact same trick, just dressed up in escalators and food courts instead of roll-up doors. In the next video, we're breaking down the economics of owning a shopping mall. And it turns out the biggest, most recognizable stores in that mall aren't paying rent the way you'd assume at all. Some of them are barely paying rent at all, because what they're really selling the mall isn't floor space. It's their name.